All right, let's call the Drainage Board meeting to order. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Hugh Glasgow.
Here.
Tony Hendricks.
Here.
Sarah is probably not coming. Rich Mrozinski.
Here.
John Coulter, he's not coming. And Steve Mrozinski.
Here.
Mike Poland.
Here.
And Brad Adamski.
Here.
So I have a motion to approve the meetings from the last meeting.
Second.
Minutes. All in favor, say aye. Motion passed. Al Walrus on the White Ditch.
Good afternoon, Drainage Board members. Here to provide an update on the White Ditch project. Just running through a couple things real quick. If you remember back at the June 9th, 2020 Drainage Board meeting, there was a memorandum of understanding between the Drainage Board and the Town of Michiana Shores, in which the Drainage Board was supportive of the project. It was a grant with the DNR Lake Michigan Coastal Program. Coastal Program was providing around $80,000 in funds. The Drainage Board agreed to pay $36,000 approximately, which was the amount in the White Ditch Maintenance Fund as a local match. And the Town of Michiana Shores is providing another $43,000 towards that effort. So after that meeting on June 9th, bids were received. Delta 3 was the low bidder. They came in at $127,693.20. The contract was awarded to Delta 3. They started construction in mid-June, and they were substantially complete on June 29th. As we were excavating the bank, we ran into a couple additional trees that had to be removed because we cut into their roots, so we took them out, and then we extended the stone path at the end to get to Brookside. With some deletions and additions as a result of those decisions, it added an additional $5,630 to the contract for a new total of $133,323.50. It's about a 4% increase in the original contract amount. Looked at some punch list items. There are three minor things: putting some additional blanket down and removing some roots on the 29th. They completed those on the 30th, so all of Delta 3's work has been completed. They submitted two pay applications. The first one was for the total cost of the project minus 15% retainage. That was for $113,324.97. And then they submitted a second release of retainage in the amount of $19,998.53. After inspecting all the punch list items, they were completed, so we've recommended full payment and release of the retainage. Part of the grant agreement with the coastal program was to complete all the work by the end of June and then complete payment of all invoices by the end of July. So I came before the board today to present documentation that the contract was awarded, Delta 3 did the work, we did inspections, they completed all the punch list items, so they're due 100% of their payment. And my recommendation would be to the LaPorte County Drainage Board to approve payment in the amount of $36,000 from the White Ditch Maintenance Fund to the Town of Michiana Shores, who would then forward the payment on to Delta 3. And I'll be appearing before the Town of Michiana Shores tonight to present the same report for their approvals and subsequent payment to Delta 3.
I went out there yesterday, and I was going to say that it is beautiful, and I almost fell out of the truck with delight.
It's gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous.
Oh.
And those pictures I took and printed those off for you to take a look at. It's beautiful.
Amazing.
It looks really good.
They did a real good job. Delta
Yeah.
3, interestingly enough, they did the original project back in 2005, so they were very familiar with it. That side turned out really well too. They were great to work with. Any little things we mentioned to them, they took care of right away. They got it done in almost no time. And they're a local LaPorte County contractor, so it was nice to see that a local contractor was low bidder through that process.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem if you did the whole rest of the town like that, because it looks really nice, and there were people everywhere walking around. It looked great.
Mm-hmm. Good.
All right, any other questions for him? You have anything, Rich?
No, I'd make the motion that we go ahead and allow him to pay that as he explained.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second to go ahead and pay the $36,000 from the maintenance fund. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Great, thank you very much. And again, I just wanted to thank the Drainage Board for your cooperation in this project. Without your involvement, it would not have been able to go forward because the town would not have had enough funds for the local match. So it is a legal drain. Working between the Drainage Board with the town was a great win-win for everyone. So again, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Looks very good. All right, drain crossing, NDOT on the Slocum Ditch, Highway 30.
Okay, I got a drain crossing application from NDOT to replace proposed bridge rehab for the precast reinforced concrete bridge over Slocum Ditch. Includes mill and overlay of the bridge deck, replacing bridge approaches and railing transitions, removing and replacing guardrail, and adding class 1 riprap to the channel for scour protection. Place 6 feet from each abutment footer and countersunk to a depth of 5.98 feet. So this is our basic application for this bridge replacement. Tony and I looked at the plans and we're in approval.
We recommend approval.
We have a motion to accept this.
So moved. Second.
Second. So a motion to approve the Slocum Ditch. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Second, or opposed? Okay, motion passed. So when will they start on that?
That is starting date March 1st of 2021 with a completion date of April 15th of 2021. They're always usually a year out on it takes them like 2 to 3 years to do the project start to finish.
Okay.
So that'll be next year.
Okay. Attorney report, Brad?
I do have one new item that came up since last meeting, actually just came up last week. I got approached by some private individuals, and I understand Mike and Christy have been involved in communication with them as well. This is regarding Clear Lake, right on the county line, down near Westville, and then specifically the Bower Ditch, which is in Porter County. The property owners, that lake is split about 55%, 45% between Porter County and LaPorte County. LaPorte County residents, the lake level is getting really high, and it's hazardous because it's coming onto personal property, it's coming onto their residences to the point where they got sandbags. It's also hazardous because there is a pier that's got essentially 3 diving boards on it that is now becoming submerged, and you've got recreational boating and watercraft going around there. So Lake County, from what I've been able to ascertain so far, and Mike and Christy can give more information on it too, they've submitted a proposal where they're going to clear part of the Bower Ditch, but it's probably, or at least doesn't appear to be enough to impact the lake level, which is the concern from the citizens we're hearing. Problem for the board is this isn't under your jurisdiction. I know Mike has prepared a letter on behalf of MS4 in support of the property owners. Christy's going to ask for your permission to send a letter that she's prepared as well. Scott Pilaf has been contacted by these property owners. Just trying to do what we can to help them. I'm reporting to the board because now I've been approached privately by them. I don't know that there's an action that the board can take, but I assume you guys are supportive. And if there is something I can get involved as an attorney to help them with communication with Porter County, that's probably the angle I'm going to take with it from here. But I just wanted to report that to the board to get it out in the open, but also to let Mike and Christy offer their 2 cents if they had anything to say on this.
Yeah, basically what Brad said, and I know Tony, Mike, and I went out and met with Mr. Coulter, John's dad, and with the residents and looked at everything, and I think we all are in agreement that we don't have any funding, we don't have easements, but we're all in support of whatever can be done to help the flooding. So we've all have letters prepared. I have a letter prepared, Mike sent his, and I also have Scott Pilaf's letter of support, and I think Tony was maybe going to do a separate one on behalf of the county surveyor.
Yeah, the county surveyor will send a letter of support.
Yeah, and anything Tony's got to say about it, about anything you have to add?
Yeah, but I think if we all send letters, it's clearly on Porter County side of the outlet, but if we support in any sense, I think it'll help them move along because the impact's getting worse.
And the problem with it, at least what I can gather from Porter County's perspective, is their side of the lake, their half of the lake, the western side, there really aren't any residences along there. So this isn't an urgent thing from Porter County's perspective. And it's just one of those things where it's, if there were, joint board on something like this, but there isn't at the moment, maybe it circles back to that at the end, but right now this is something they're doing some work, they're proposing some work, and they're not hearing of, obviously, from any of their tax-paying residents why they need to do more than what they're proposing to do. So we're just trying to help these people along and, get them some relief.
How far they need to go to clean to make it?
Well, the Porter County ditch,
Bower.
the regulated Bower ditch doesn't get to their outlet, so there is a gap, but the Bower ditch does need to be cleaned and some pipes replaced because it won't drain. And then once that gets done, then they will have an outlet to finish the last link in that outlet. So if we support Porter County trying to get the Bower ditch pipe fixed and cleaned, then maybe they can move forward with the last bit of connection between the lake and the Bower ditch outlet. But it's all in Porter County. Yeah, the outlet. The lake's in our county, but the outlet is all in Porter County. So we have no jurisdiction to cross that line.
Okay. Any other questions for Brad?
That's all I have for attorney reports, and I don't think you need to take action other than to acknowledge that Christie sent in the letter too, and like they said, Mike's already sent his, and Tony's going to be sending one as well.
Okay. All right, thank you. Tony, on the surveyor reports?
Same thing, the surveyor's, as a surveyor, I'm going to support that letter. And if the Drainage Board supports it, then I think enough of us will get behind it. But the other report I have is the Kankakee River. There's some studies on there about bats that we're looking into, Porter County and LaPorte County. Our next moves going forward with the Kankakee River, Yellow River Basin Commission is to look at some of our silt traps to be cleaned out. That would be the Travis, the one north of 6. Is there another one? Another one downstream that we're going to look at funding hopefully next year to clean out.
And Range Road.
Yeah, Range Road. So we're going to look at those to get cleaned out, and then we're also going to go a step ahead with the environmental application we have with IDEM, DNR, and Army Corps. Work with any environmentalist group. We're probably going to start planting trees again on the landward side of the banks, not on the river side of the banks. So we would like to show that we are not just here to completely strip the banks off and leave them bare. We will plant trees in concert with probably U.S. Fish and Wildlife on the landward side of the banks to get the shade on the river and some native species growing instead of invasive species. That's all I have.
Okay. Old business. Do we have any old business?
Not that I can think of.
None? New business? All right, claims.
Okay, I have 3 claims. First claim is for the removal of a beaver dam that was taken out by Dennis Mann out of the Bull Ditch. Mike has inspected all that, and that claim was in the amount of $200 to come out of the Bull Ditch. Do you want me just to do them all together, or do we do them separate?
I can just do them all together.
I'll keep going. Second claim is from Bailey Excavating, and this was for some emergency work that was sanctioned by St. Joe County to do a washout at County Line Ditch, and that was in the amount of $300. That comes out of the County Line Ditch Fund. And we did have Aquatic Control do the drip station on the Cook Ditch, and he did that a couple weeks ago, and it already, I don't know if you guys have had time to go down there, but I've been down there like every week and talking to the owners, and everybody seems satisfied. So we had him do that work, and that amount was $10,991, and that comes out of the Cook Ditch Fund. So I have money in all those funds to cover all this.
Motion to pay the claims as presented.
I have a motion to pay the claims as presented. Second. We have a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Pay the claims.
Thank you.
Anything more?
Just a real quick question, if we are able and have to do like a go-to meeting or a virtual meeting for Drainage Board next month, are you guys okay with doing that?
Sure,
If we need
I'm
to do
okay.
that? Okay. That's okay, Brad. If we get to that point again, I just wanted to make sure everybody was on board with that if we have to go that way. Okay.
Okay. Joint board reports? Anyone?
No,
None? MS4? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike, we're out of time. You got 1 minute.
Mike Pollan, MS4 Chair. That Dennis Mann beaver bill for $200, I gotta tell you, that water was held back. It was 5 feet of water being held back, and as many trips as Dennis went out there to catch that smart beaver that kept eluding that $200 won't even pay his gas money. So kudos to him. That water level's like 5 inches now. So for now, until the little beavers grow up and build more dams, we'll be good there. We have numerous non-regulated flooding complaints that we're just dealing with all over the county. Clear Lake, they already talked about that. And Rich, you were out there, I think, at that location too. So do you guys have any questions for me about Clear Lake? The last thing I have, the highway department is going to do a paving project on County Line Road at Hudson Lake. And part of that project is going to be a culvert replacement that goes under the road. Steve, you and I have been out there. So they want to know if they can put the same size culvert back in. I'm inclined to approve that. In fact, as soon as I leave this meeting, I'm going to contact them, depending on our discussion. What do you guys think? Do you have any objections to putting the same size culvert back in? Normally, I'd say bigger is better, but with all the problems we've had out there in the past, I've never had a problem with that culvert at that specific location. 1,000 feet west of there, we had that farm crossing culvert that was holding back water, and we had that ripped out. But the one under the road, I've never had a problem with that size.
And they've already cleaned that ditch east of there, correct? So it's gonna flow pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it would be fine.
leave it.
You're fine with that
Leave it.
size?
Yep.
All right, excellent. That's
Yeah.
all I have.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Rick Brown, the MS4 coordinator, is here. He wants to approach.
Okay. Yep.
Thanks for letting me come up, Mike. Thank you, Chair. Two things. One, the fish trap project, I may have mentioned it before, it got completed 100% as of this morning. The city highway was able to go out where we had set the pump and all that kind of stuff, and there was some ruts and stuff there. Took them a few weeks to get there, but the city did just a fabulous job this morning. It looked really great. The owner come out, very, very thankful. If we want to ever use that location again, it is not going to be a problem. Perhaps in the future, we would consider pumping that every 4 years or something versus hundreds of thousands of dollars to connect Fish Trap to Clear. Even though Nick is considering that, this could be a cheaper way to go. But the project turned out great, and we were able to oxygenate Clear Lake. This Fish Trap is very, very good in oxygenation. Secondly, there's been a project come into MS4. Mike's only briefly aware of it. It's going to be 46.5 acres of disturbance. It's a NIPSCO project going all the way across our county. They're going to be replacing every big high line that they have with new ones. So what MS4 will be doing, and Mike and I had to do it once before on the pipeline that went through, is we will get our fee, of course, $100 an acre. So that's going to be a little over $4,000 to put it on a non-reverting fund. That's all great. However, the most important thing with these large projects is that I get the amount from the company of what the straw bales cost, of what the silt fence cost, of what all that kind of stuff cost, because they will be having to issue a bond to MS4. And as Mike would be first to come up here and tell you, we had to use that at the pipeline project once because they were supposed to do this and supposed to do that and didn't get it done. And I said, okay, make a call, let's get it done. You can't get it done, MS4 is going to do it with your bond money. They couldn't get the contractor there, so we did it with their bond money that they gave us. And then we returned it at the end of the project, minus what we had to use. So just so you guys know, in case you get any calls, that's gonna be quite a disturbance of a project. It's gonna go all the way across our county, and all those have to have roads to access everything, a lot of wetlands. It's a big project. MS4 is going to require a bond on that, just so you know. And I'm expecting to get the dollar amount sooner rather than later. I've made 2 calls on it the last 2 days. I'm just making you aware of the project. You're got a good chance somebody's phone's gonna ring. Mine's Mike, maybe yours, sir. But
Saugerty Lake, Rick?
huh?
Saugerty Lake?
Yeah, we are going over Saugerty Lake. We're almost right down the middle of it with their high lines. They're not under it, they're over it. So anyway, I'm just making you guys aware of it. It's an exciting project. I like these large projects. So a lot to do with it, but I'm just making you aware of it because there's going to be a lot of disturbance. It's going to be somewhat similar to when the pipeline went through. Some headaches, but hey, that's the business of MS4 sometimes. Thank you.
Mike, or
Rick?
Yes, sir.
are they reconductoring or re-insulating or both?
Well, they're doing all new high lines, and
New
I think
conductor.
they're taking all the old ones down, those big steel A things, and they're putting all new ones up. I think it's the ones that are similar that then got those like arms that come
Oh,
off of
taking
it.
the actual towers then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to monopoles.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, all across our whole county. They're actually, I think, over in Lake County now. I mean, St. Joe, but they're coming our way. So
How many lines go through the county?
I can't tell you that. I don't know. If I had the drawings with me, I could count them, but I don't know. There's quite a few that are attached to each tower. There's quite a few of them.
When I'm talking right-of-ways, how many right-of-ways? I know
Well, there's right-of-ways on each side of these towers, so they can get to them for both directions.
But there's one right-of-way line right now.
Well, yes.
This is like northeast
Right,
county.
of the NIPSCO right-of-way, yes.
Let's go right now. Like northeast county.
You said all the NIPSCO high lines in the county.
The towers, yeah.
Yes.
On this
So I
one
know
line.
of 2 tower lines is all I can think of offhand. Are you talking more than,
I can't
One
remember
line.
how many there are. 43, 40 or something like that they're replacing?
see, we're
Towers?
not talking the same
Towers.
language here.
No, there's
I'm
only one
talking
line.
Strings of how many strings going through the county.
I don't know.
They're only doing one line right now, like
I-
northeast
I
county.
don't
Just
know off
the
the top of my
line
head.
north by Saugerty?
I haven't looked
That's
at
the only
that.
line
It's,
they're doing?
it's come in.
Okay.
I've reviewed it, but I've not counted the lines and stuff like that, and I've not actually given them approval yet until I get some callbacks.
But we got high tension power lines South County. They're not going.
Okay.
They're just doing this north line.
Okay, any individual questions you may have, if you give them to Mike or whatever, we can get them written down. I'll answer any questions that you folks have. I just can't tell you right now because it's been fairly new. I've only had it on my desk for a few days. I'm just making you aware of it.
Well, what I'm getting, they won't be in Hannah Township, they won't be in Scipio Township, they'll be north of LaPorte, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's quite a few townships are going through, that's for sure.
North County.
So I'm just making you aware of it. It's going to be a kind of a cool project, different for us.
Just like they did through Michigan City this year. Just changed all those to monopoles.
Yeah, that may be Tony, so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Public comment. Do we have any public comment?
Are you happy with the work that was done? It looks nice. Yeah, we already
Mhm.
did that part and, no, it looks beautiful. So
Yeah,
you guys
pictures
are all
look
happy with
fabulous.
it?
Happy to.
Good.
They'll be at your town meeting later today.
Okay. No public comment, so any meeting adjourned.
Thanks for coming up, you guys.